Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne's Sharp World, where today I have just the cutest little review for you guys. Today, we're taking a look at the Ferrum Forge Micro Fortis. Before we go any further, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching today. And if you like what you see, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and continue to help me grow this channel so I can continue to bring you guys what you find to be funny, informative, and just good overall knife content. Now, let's move on with this knife. Let's start off with some overall specs. We have an overall length of 3.64 inches, handle length coming in at 2.11 inches, handle width at 0.5 inches, handle thickness at 0.34 inches. The handle material is titanium. We have a blade length at 1.53 inches, blade width at 0.56 inches, blade thickness at 0.10 inches, and get this, this is where this becomes a real knife. Behind the edge, we're looking at 14 thousandths on not only a nice thin edge, but a nice little mirror polish going on this. I tell you what, the Ferrum Forge brothers hooked this up. This is a attractive, shiny little piece with a very nice edge. We have a blade steel being Nitro V. We'll talk a little more about that here in a second because I'm learning more about Nitro V as this is my first knife ever to have Nitro V steel. Blade grind of flat with a stonewash finish, and to top it off, this guy has ceramic bearings in there, and right there you see a ceramic detent ball. So there wasn't a lot of expenses spared to put this knife together, and I really appreciate that. This is a lot more than any type of just novelty. This is a real knife that is made to be used. We have a total weight at 0.67 ounces and a price. The price is not cheap. The price is $85 for this little guy. Now, is that justified? When we go over all this information here and take a closer look, I'll give you guys my opinion at the very end. But first, let's do some size comparisons. This should be fun. Here we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and let's finish it off with a dime, 85 cents for the $85, and there you go. We're kind of coming up to the length right there. So that should give everybody a pretty good idea on the size. Now let's have just a little more fun. Here we have, we're going to do some size comparisons. We got to throw some big boys out there. Here we have our Spyderco Jumbo. It's got it by a hair. Yeah, I would say it's definitely bigger. And then here we have our Cold Steel 4 Max Scout, which is no slouch in the size department, as you can see. And then last, but certainly not least, what would a size comparison be without a Cold Steel Espada? There we go. So yeah, the Espada, it's got it by just a smidgen there in size. So there you go. There's some fun comparisons for you, and that should give you an idea on the true size of this guy. And one last little comparison, because this here is probably what this knife is also meant to be used for. This is a Kershaw Cinder. It's another little keychain knife. So right there is actually a very close size comparison, and even when you have them folded up, they're very similar in size, and that really is what this knife is made for, guys. Ferrum Forge calls this a keychain knife. It does even come with a little keychain attachment. Let me pull that out here real quick. But there's those size comparisons for you, and this is the box that it comes in, which is a pretty nice little box. Real sturdy, basically like it's basically the size of a deck of cards, I would say. But has a nice little cutout, and it comes with a little keychain ring to put on the end of the, not necessarily, we'll call it a mini lanyard hole, just to keep it in the mentionings of a real knife. So that all goes in there, and that's the entire package. That's what it comes with. So, nice little presentation. But now let's get to talking more about this knife. Let me just whip it out there for you. So, here we go. So, the blade on this guy, like I said before, is Nitro V. Now, I'm just going to read you guys this little piece on Nitro V because I've never had a Nitro V knife. So I learned a lot about this steel after I bought it, did some reading up on it, and this is what I found. Nitro V is actually AEBL at heart, with added nitrogen and vanadium to improve edge performance and to achieve high hardness and extreme corrosion resistance. It has been said on more than one occasion that Nitro V could very well be used in diving knives rather than the standard 420C or titanium because of this ability to resist staining and corrosion. Nitro V is martensitic stainless steel with a chromium-based composition, and that is via knifeup.com. So there you go, guys. That's the information on Nitro V. So it sounds like it holds a really nice edge. It obviously polishes up pretty nice because they did. They put a nice little, we'll call it a little mirror finish on this guy, which is cool. For $85, that's a nice little added bonus. And it also is corrosion resistant, which is always nice for me. I'm not a fan of the M4 steels and other steels that rust a lot because I live in a pretty humid environment. Not that they're not totally capable and great steels, but they're just not best for my daily use. Now, a little more on this blade. Let's close this guy up and take a look at this. Perfect centering. Dead on centering. There is no blade play on this whatsoever. It is completely solid. We'll flip it back out again here and take another look. I mean, this blade is not moving. This is put together. It is solid. It is just like a regular full-size titanium frame lock knife. Very solid lockup on the frame lock here, as you can see. It's what I would like to see on every one of my frame lock knives, actually. And some of them aren't this good, I gotta say. So that's very nice to see there. Excellent jimping on the flipper tab as well as the spine, and that's where what's going to come into play a pretty big factor with the handles and ergos on this guy, which for a small knife, I gotta say the handles, I mean, they're not, they are what they are, guys. It's a super small knife. It's going to feel small in your hands. It does, and it should, but it's a 2-finger knife, 2 fingers, and when you hold it up here, if you ever want to really, obviously I have a Band-Aid on right now, but that jimping, the jimping up here on the flipper tab, as you can see, it's nice and pronounced. It's a rather aggressive jimping, and you really do, I feel it press into my finger there, and when I put my thumb on this, I mean, it works. It works. If I want to open up a bag of something or open a letter, it'll get the job done. It's a really nice edge, nice steel. Like I said before, 14 thousandths behind the edge. That's going to cut anything really well. And you get a good little pinch grip. You could also do a nice, to open a box, a little draw cut. So this is a completely functional knife. And I'm just getting a kick out of how well they executed and engineered this thing to be what they wanted it to be. In the description of this knife, they say it is a knife that is not meant to be just a joke and a novelty. Obviously, it is funny. I mean, let's not lie. It's just funny to carry this guy around. But it is also meant to do some work, and they designed it just for that. You can hold on to it. You can use it. You're obviously not going to go cutting through anything too serious, but even right here, I would have no problem really pushing through something with this blade and the build of this. It's not going to break. It is not going to break, not for any type of regular, light EDC use. It's going to hold up just fine. And the action on this guy is where it just gets to be actually funny. Before I flip this out again, listen to the detent here. Listen to it. It clicks right in. I mean, it has for the size of this knife and for what they were going for, I would say it has a perfect detent. And it flips right out. It's almost like listening to fingers snap, just like someone snapping their fingers. It's pretty funny. I'm gonna try to resist saying cute because it's too easy to say, but it's just funny. Listen to it. Isn't it great? But no, it's just the action's nailed on it. You can see it has a nice detent ball there, and I can't obviously it's got the detent drilled into the blade as well, but it just has a nice, I wouldn't say stiff, I would call it perfect detent, because the jimping and everything just allows for the action to be just right. But again, listen and watch. And it's in there. This thing is not going to open in your pocket. just very, very well thought out, well executed, and very well engineered to have a blade this small and have action like this. It's really good. It's really good. I don't even want to know how many times it took them, how many protos to go over and over to try and get that detent just dialed in and nailed down to where you get a result like this, which is basically the action of a full-size knife in a micro size. Just very well done. Very well done, and that's all I got. You know, this is a small knife, so we're going to keep it at a small review. But as far as my thoughts on the overall price of this, yes, this is absolutely worth $85. You have a titanium frame lock flipper with Nitro V steel, which turns out to be a very good steel. And more than anything, the fit and finish is just on point. I mean, look at this. I don't see any flaws. No flaws at all. The milling is great. The action, everything. I mean, outside of, the fact that I got bigger hands, and even learning to deploy this knife, it wasn't hard. You just pinch it with your fingers down here, and just flip it, and it's open, and it's fun. It's fun. It's a nice little knife. You put this thing in your fifth pocket, and you're going to forget you have it on you. I'm almost tempted to put some type of little lanyard, so when I put it in my pocket and carry it around, I won't forget it's in there and send it through the wash or end up losing it because it's that small of a knife. But the execution, fit, finish, quality, it's all there, guys. This is Ferrum Forge. This is completely Ferrum Forge in a micro size, and it is just a cool little piece. Let me know what you think. Is it worth the $85 to you? Do you plan on buying one? These are still available on Ferrum Forge's site in a bunch of different flavors. I got the stainless steel just because I knew I was going to carry this in my pocket with change and other stuff, and I knew it was going to get scratched up if I got any with color, so I like the stainless steel myself. Stonewash stainless steel. It's not stainless steel, it's titanium. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm a moron. Sorry about that. But no, this is just a stonewash finish on the titanium handles, and just a really great knife. So that's all I got for today, guys. Let me know what you think, and I will see you very soon with another review. Take care. Bye.